Hey all, Jason Levon, priest at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and welcome to another edition of Pause and Pray. We're getting ready to slowly return to in-person worship here at St. Luke's Church, and that's meant a whole bunch of planning and contingency planning and just awareness of things I never would have thought to be aware of prior to this pandemic, like ventilation and how much airflow we can have and what happens if such and such happens and how do we handle that, and measuring square footage so we can maintain proper social distancing. Well, last night, on Wednesday evening, we did sort of a dry run where 5 of us gathered in church for a 25-minute contemplative Taizé prayer service. All 18 windows in church were open, the doors were open, there was a wonderful breeze and air circulation in the church, and we gathered socially distanced around this cross, and for 25 minutes we sat mostly silent, just contemplating the beautiful music that was playing through the speakers. And then towards the end of the service, we prayed the Lord's Prayer together. And I never expected this to happen, but when I heard the voices of the other 4 join mine, I literally got goosebumps. There was this shot of hope and grace in my life as I realized this was the first time in over a year that others were able to come in and join their voices to mine as we lifted them up in prayer and praise to God. And it was in that moment that I received this wonderful sense of strength to just keep my head above the waters of this pandemic that we've all been struggling to swim in for so long. In this morning's office, we prayed Psalm 69, which begins with the psalmist pleading to God, "O God, save me, for the waters have risen up to my neck." And while much of the psalm is this prayer of struggle for the psalmist, it's also a prayer of hope that God works within the rough waters of life to give us enough strength to just keep our heads above the water at times. And for me, that's a wonderful invitation during this holy season of Lent to do some pausing and praying. Because sometimes on my journey, just keeping my head above water is the best I can do. But if I'm also honest, I know that when I find the strength to keep my head above the water, it doesn't come from me. So we are invited to pause and pray about the many ways in which we've come to experience that grace helping us when the waters of life became so rough. In the people and voices that found a way to surround us and speak words of life and prayer and encouragement with us and for us. And however else you may have experienced that beautiful Lenten grace of God, buoying us up, all so that we can keep our heads above the water and keep swimming towards life. Lenten peace and blessings to you all.